A quick disclaimer before we begin. Everything discussed in this episode reflects our personal opinions and experiences as educators. Always use your professional judgment and follow your organization's policies when evaluating and using AI tools.
Welcome to Classroom to Code with me and Nadia, Noni and Nadia again. Today we're going to have a look a little bit about our apps that we've created for the Designathon. Really, really fun things that we've been seeing in the community. Lots of really good apps. So what we're going to do is have a quick run through both of our apps. I think, Nadia, let's start off with your app. It was really interesting, and I think it was looked at in office hours as well. And there
Mhm.
was lots of feedback you got for it. It's quite interesting. So let's have a look through. Take a look at your app if you want to share that.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to kind of preface with I was not planning on doing the design-a-thon at all. I love quitting while I'm ahead. And since I had won the build-a-thon, I was like, oh, I think I'm done. Because now I'm gonna, nobody's gonna look at it and I'll be sad and whatever. And I also don't expect, that lightning doesn't strike twice, type of thing. So
I know.
yeah, no. And so I was like, what's the point of even trying? But then I watched the kickoff live and Reimer was talking about the criteria and I was like, this sounds really hard because I don't my area of expertise is like I understand how to make kind of traditional ed tech and make it accessible and things like that. Design is it makes me nervous because it's subjective to some degree, right? Like there is good design, but there's also like fashions in design and there's, like this is in right now, this is not in. And I don't know the area.
Trends, different trends, yeah.
Yeah, trends, that's what it's called. And I don't know like I know instructional design, I know accessibility design. When it comes to like aesthetics, it's hard because it's not something that I have thought about. Maybe in the back of my head subconsciously, I thought about like this looks good, this doesn't, but I didn't study that and I don't feel confident in that area. But after he did the kickoff, I was like, you know what? What is there to lose, right? If I just try something. And I felt like this was a challenge where it's just gonna make me a better builder. So even if nobody looks at anything, I'm gonna at least learn something from it. So then I was like, okay, you know what?
It's like a fun challenge as well. And the thing is that even people who have studied design, m me myself, I studied fashion and graphic design, but even though I like studied it for like 3 years and then I did a bit of work in it as well afterwards, I still get confused with what's a good design, what's not. So that's why, and that's the great thing about building yourself, especially on like Replit, where you can ask it for some a few different ideas, and then you can have a look at it, iterate on it. But yeah, again, even for people who have studied design, design can still be tricky because you never know um how other people are seeing it through another
Yeah.
user's eyes. But I think it's really fun that I'm glad that you took part in this designathon because it is like a challenge and it's just I mean a lot of people, even myself, not focusing on winning, but focusing on designing something that you didn't think you could design, which is quite and also the good thing is that you learn a lot along the way,
That was
which
the whole point
I
for
have
me.
learned a lot.
And schools have started, I've mentioned a couple of times, and I am very stressed with my schedule. And I didn't think, I was like, I don't have the time for this. I'm done with hackathons for a while. And I, the ideas come into your head and then you keep pushing yourself. And I'm so glad that I did because I'm actually creating something that I'm using in my day job. So, what I do, and I've already shown it to people. So, what I do is I train at the beginning of the year. There are students who have hearing aids or hearing loss or whatever their needs are. Not everybody uses sign language, actually, majority don't. And they're in mainstream classes. And so, basically at the start of the year, I meet with all the teachers of those kids in the given districts that I have. I have like 55 kids right now, so it's a lot of
Wow.
kids.
So
Yeah,
a
they're
lot for a
all different.
non-classroom teacher.
Yeah, it's insane. And they have their classroom teachers. I meet with their classroom teachers. I make sure they understand what they need to do as far as accommodations, meaning like where the kids should sit in the class, what are things you can do to make it easier for them. Their hearing aids, how that works, or whatever it is for that kid. Customized trainings for every single teacher or the people on the team. And then I set up regular appointments with the kids. So that's what I do at the start of the year. So my brain was there. I was like what can I make that's genuinely useful for me and my fellow teachers of the deaf
Mm,
that are serving these kids? And how can I use the design feature on Replit to do that? And so that's how I ended up with what I created.
that's so cool. It's so cool. I never thought that we would be here at this point making apps that are so useful for our jobs, like our careers, because we have that experience. It makes it so much more easier. Do you
Yeah.
want
And
to share your app? I'm looking forward to the update you made as well.
yeah. So I actually went on office hours yesterday and got so much feedback. And one thing that I've been thinking a lot about is feedback because since I showed it like a little over 24 hours ago to the Replit team, the community team, so many things have changed. But I'm going to just walk you through real quick and then I want to show you how I did the 3D elements where how did I like control the scene and set up the scene in 3D and how did I build that in Replit? Because I think that's useful for anyone who wants to create in 3D.
Mhm.
And I'm happy to share that piece of it. So this is in the design canvas. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
So, real quick, I used to have a landing page that was just kind of music in the background and you have to enter. And it wasn't even, I don't think it was a picture of a door. It was kind of like a kind of a sad, like dark, wavy classroom thing. It's what design made for me initially. And then after I talked on the office hours, there was a little bit of a difference. I think one person had said to me, I like the landing page. It's a loading dock because it's a 3D experience. So we need to give it time to load instead of just like a bar, right? And I was like, okay, cool. And then actually, Reimar said to me, get rid of it all and just drop them in the room. And
Mm.
I swear I lost sleep over it, where it was like back and forth in my head. Like, do I want to just drop these teachers? Because that's who I'm making it for in the room when I know that they're not super comfortable with tech. This is really unconventional. How do I do this in a way that's not going to turn them off and be like, what is she trying to show me? And so the middle ground that I ended up on was a moving landing page where you still have the feeling of motion with the sound of being in the hallway because we start in the hallway. And
I
so it's
like that.
kind of, yeah, it's like my middle ground, right? So I was like, I'm kind of dropping them into the simulation, but it's also a loading dock, a loading gate or whatever it's called. And it's also, it clarifies what this experience is for, which I think that my audience really does need before they get dropped in. So it starts off. Actually, this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go straight to the app. Give me a second.
I think your screen is, oh, there you go. I fixed it.
Yeah. So I want you to experience it. So it's loading the classroom. Oops.
It's not quite centered. Is your screen stretched out too much, or is that just my? There you go. That's fine.
Is it centered?
Mm.
So you hear it, right? But I have it so that the hearing that it fades. So it went from normal to unilateral. Every 5 seconds, the hearing gets worse. So just so that you're already in the experience when you get on the landing page. So that
That's
was
so
my
good.
middle ground.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's so good because like you're already experiencing before you get there. That's
Yeah,
a
so it's there even as it's loading, and that loaded already, but I don't know if you saw there was like a loading the classroom. Then I have you enter the classroom, so it's giving that motion, that
Good
movement
morning,
feeling.
everyone. Today we are exploring how sound
And
travels.
it's not a
When I
gamified
speak,
instruction.
my voice
It
moves
shows you
through
how to
the
move
air in
around,
waves, all the way
tells you what
to
to
your
do, go up
ears.
close,
Now, look at the
slide the
picture on the
hearing level
board.
control in the top corner.
What do you notice about the ripples in the water? Turn to your partner and share one thing you see.
That's so good. I
Remember,
like how you can
there
change
are
the hearing
no wrong
level
answers,
throughout
only
at
right
any
words.
point.
Yes.
I really like that.
Because a lot of
In
teachers
your
just have
morning
one kid. And so if your kid
yesterday,
has, this kind of loss,
think about
this is the only one
staring
you're
into a
interested in,
canyon.
right? You're not going
Mhm.
to want to see
Yeah.
everything. So I
Sound
want them to
travels
have some
out,
control over that.
bounces, and comes right back to you. On the
Okay.
board, I have drawn how a
So now we've done all of them. So once you've tried all of them, it tells you each of those is a real student school day, keep whichever level. And then it shows you, and we're going to move out of profound
gently on
here.
your throat and hum.
Close the windows,
Do you feel that little buzz?
click the windows
That
or the
vibration
playground. So
is
you
what
have to go
sound is
over
made of. Every
Can
sound
you
you hear starts
mute
with
that while she
something
explains?
vibrating, just like that.
putting her on profound.
Oh, okay.
Here's a question for you. Why does a big drum sound low, while a tiny
Don't.
bell sounds
I'm
high?
stuck. Hold on.
When something
Oh,
wiggles very
Oh,
fast, it makes a high sound.
Okay.
When it wiggles slowly, the sound is low.
So you go
We
over to
call
the
that
windows
pitch.
and it says close the
Watch my
windows. Click the
hands.
windows by the playground.
Fast
So
little
there's
wiggles,
actually
high
noise
sound.
coming.
Slow big
Yeah.
wiggles, low sound.
It's the sound of the playground. So let's close this
Now let us
window.
talk about
So
loud
those
and
waves are
soft.
showing where the noise is coming
When I
from.
Yeah,
tap
and
my
you can
desk
turn that off
gently, the
too, but if
sound
somebody
waves
who
are
has a hearing
small,
loss or
so
deaf,
the
I wanted a
sound
visual
stays
way to
quiet.
represent it.
When I
Yeah,
clap my
that's
hands
really
hard,
good.
So
the
yeah, so there's
waves are
sound
bigger
visuals,
and they
but you can turn
travel
them off.
farther.
And
That is why
then
a
I
whisper
close the
stays
windows. Now it
close to
says
you,
shut the hallway
but a
door.
shout can reach
So we're gonna have
all
to
the
turn
way
around
across the
because
playground.
if you go here, you can hear the hallway.
And how
Yeah,
do our
that's so
ears
good.
catch all of these waves?
And now it's
Inside each
quieter.
ear,
Do
there
you
is
see
a
how it's getting
tiny drum
easier
thinner than a piece of
Yeah.
paper.
with this hearing
When
loss?
sound
Noise
waves reach it,
reducing.
it
I like
Quiet
wiggles
how
is
it's
the
so
too,
vent.
accessible
and it
with the
passes the
visuals, but the
message
noise is
along
coming
to your
from that
brain.
position, that place.
Yeah,
Keep
so this is
that
the vent. I
picture
might
in
make the
your
vent bigger
mind
because that's hard to
as we
find.
keep exploring sound together.
Quiet the vent.
Now, who
Where's
remembers
the
what we
Yeah,
vent?
learned yesterday about echoes?
click the grill below the
Think
front
about
wall.
shouting into a camera.
Okay. You might want to
The
make that
sound
bigger.
travels out,
Yeah, I even
bounces,
know.
and comes right
It didn't
back to
work.
you.
Okay.
On the board,
And
I have
then add
drawn
a
how a
rug to
sound
soften the
wave
surfaces.
bounces
Did
off
you
a
know
hard
that
surface.
adding a rug
Take a good look.
Yes.
helps? Yeah. You
Let
find
Yeah.
us
this
try
with your
an
teacher.
experiment
We
together.
don't, we know that
Yeah.
in the
Put your
Classroom
classroom.
hand
acoustics.
gently on
So
your
we
So,
throat
have,
and hum.
sorry,
mhm,
we have in my classroom, we have it's the open classroom. So there's four classrooms in one space, but they've got half walls. So we do
mhm.
everything we can to reduce the noise from different places. So that's the reason why we've made sure that every classroom has a carpet.
That's really good. I think I've hidden the vent here. I'll have to fix that. It's
Mm.
back there. There you
Ah,
go. Okay, so you heard it settle.
Wiggle slowly, the sound is low.
All
We
right.
call that pitch.
And then, so these are things you can do. You
Good
ask
morning,
the
students.
teacher. Oh,
The morning announcements are starting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under
oh,
God,
they stood up late.
oh,
indivisible,
they
with
do it.
liberty
That's
and
so
justice
good.
for all.
Yeah.
Watch my hands. Fast little wiggles, high
So
sound.
then let's turn on some
Slow big
cabinets for them.
wiggles, low sound. Now let us talk about loud and
So
soft. When I
if this
tap
is
my
it,
desk
so a
gently,
lot of
the
things
sound wave.
happen. I'm just gonna make it a profound loss so we don't hear the teacher. But what I wanted to show you, and I'm gonna turn this off actually in production, but I have a scene editor right here that I created.
Yeah.
It lets you see the source of all the sounds as that ball here. So basically, this is where you're going to sit as a student in the
Um,
simulation. And so this is going to be where the camera is from in that area. There's a noise coming from this kid's chair, this kid who has who's moving a lot. And then we've got the teacher, but there's all like there are sound sources for everything, right? So we even
can I
have
just ask this interactive classroom that you have where you can, interact with everything in there? Is this all built on Replit? Do you use different?
Yeah,
Uh,
all of it is so the actual 3D models, it's a mix. Some of them I created or downloaded and brought the GLB files in, and some of them I built on Replit. So this cage, for example, Teddy, he was built on Replit, the cage was, and I brought in my GLB of my hamster. And as you know, Teddy is my real hamster, and he looks like this.
so
And
cool.
adorable, and I wanted him to be interactive. I like because my daughter looks at all my stuff, so I like for her to feel represented. So I made a student that looks like her, and I also added her little guy. And here we're on a
Oh, I
pitch.
love that.
Watch my hands. Fast little wiggles, high sound.
So that's also a sound. It's just kind of a little fun. It's almost like what do they call them? Easter eggs, like a fun little thing that I
Yeah,
put in here.
that's nice.
Um, and then there's, yeah, so the editor, I can move any of the objects around. This is, I'm scared to change it, but if I want to move it along the x-axis, the y-axis, z, you can do rotation here, the sizing, and then I
So
have
let's move
all,
it. Let's see what happens.
I'm scared. Let's see, can I put it back? Okay, who is this? This is, which object am I on? Okay, let's do teacher because that's obvious. So teacher, I'm gonna make her levitate real quick.
Oh,
So
you
that's
don't
the
see that in
y-axis.
an everyday classroom.
Woo, magic. It's
Oh, okay.
Hogwarts. That's how you levitate, Wingardium Leviosa. And so that is that's what we have there. And her voice moves with her. And there's like, I created this with, I just told Replit what to do. I also
Mm.
wanted to be able to move, change the volume of the different sounds because initially it was like I could barely hear the playground sounds. So I, I wanted to make that a little bit louder than it was initially and all the different things in here. So I have it for sound. I let myself import right here so I don't have to go through agent
Mm,
every time. So I import my models in here. I still like going through agent for certain things because it just knows it faster than I do. Um,
mm,
yeah, and then this is just like a magnetic. I think it's a snap to grid. So yeah, snap to grid toggle. So that's how I did the editing. That being said, I wanted to simulate like a real classroom experience. I kind of love
mm.
the PA speaker because this just reminds me of being a kid in the classroom. You guys don't do
Yeah.
the Pledge of Allegiance in the mornings, but it's a very
Oh.
American thing. Yeah. Where
So
the
every
national anthem.
school does it there?
Huh? Pretty much, yeah. And we all grew up doing it.
Mm.
And so what I plan to do next, you'll see, but I'm going to put an ASL interpreter on the screen as well, just because animating 3D interpreters in ASL is something that is not great because they haven't gotten that finger rigging just right, or maybe I haven't. So that's kind of my workaround for the ASL interpretation, and you'll be able to play with the room settings here. So you can, in on my field, we call it the signal to noise ratio, which is just, we're manipulating the sound. Put in whatever hearing level. You can do different simulations in the class,
Hmm.
and then you can play with the accommodations for access.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so it's
So
kind of,
many features in it that would be useful for especially teachers who have different kind of students with different kind of hearing losses. That's really great.
yeah, yeah. So this is something that like for me again, I wanted to challenge myself and I decided, hey, I'm just gonna try and see what's possible. I'm not even I'm for me it's like a win that I can use it with teachers and I'm already training teachers and using it with them. So it's like I'm getting that feedback. So I had a bunch of teachers already tell me like I've always wondered what it's like for them. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like,
So
here.
good. And you know what? When the teachers know how a child is hearing it, it makes them understand them better, which I think is really great. People should really know that. Even
Yeah.
parents with children who have hearing loss, this is a great app for them as well.
Yeah, I showed a speech therapist, and actually, one of the things I was thinking about is later on, I'll make different environments. So, like in the home, at the doctor's office, at the grocery store, what does it actually sound like, and put in my suite of games that I have, that I've already created. So,
That's a really
yeah.
great one.
Okay, I'm
My
gonna close.
my app was going off then.
Okay. Well, I would love to see what you're working on, Noni.
Wait. Can you hear me?
Hmm.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Sorry, what were you saying?
I want to see what you made. What are you thinking? And I just want to preface, like, I've always been such an admirer of your design. I feel like you have a way with visuals that is really captivating, especially as teachers for attention, and like making something memorable. So I've been so excited. Like I've been wondering, I'm like, what is Noni gonna do? So, and I knew you said you were between a whole bunch of designs. So
So many. So this is my problem. When it's like a competition, you have to choose one thing.
yeah,
It's
for
so
this
hard for
competition.
me because it you have so many ideas, and that's what I like about Replit is you can just build whatever idea comes into mind, you can just keep building it. But when it comes to like a competition, you have to enter one thing in. I have so many ideas flooding in, and then I feel like I self-sabotage because I don't use my best skills. But I just had fun with it. It is what it is. Um, I used a few new techniques that I learned. I've always loved, those websites where you scroll and then there's movement through with the scrolling.
Hmm.
I'm sure there's a name for that. I don't know what it is. But I used that in on the landing page, and I kept the landing page really simple because I don't like landing pages with got lots of text everywhere. It's just the name, the title, kind of gives you an idea of what it is. I'll show you in a moment. And then it takes you to the next page where you have got it's made in. I want it to be something like with a premium feel because if it's design, I want it to be really, really
Yeah,
nice.
it should feel expensive, you know?
Yeah, I
Not that
want
it
it to be
describe
really,
that.
really, really nice, but then
Premium.
also not too overwhelming. And what I wanted was, I was gonna initially just make it. It's like all about historical civilizations, and
So
I was
cool.
gonna make it child focused, but then I thought instead of making one just for primary school children, I'll make an overall historical app. And it sounds boring, but
Not at all.
And that's why I've made this so that it's not boring. And it's not finished yet, but by the time it's on the build-a-thon, it will be complete.
Hmm.
But I'll show you what I've done so far. Let's share my screen. Uh, You hear that?
Hmm.
This is me scrolling.
So cool.
It's a little bit laggy because of on my instance.
Wow. I love how you have the different civilizations lit up.
Yeah, these are little hot spots. I didn't want it to be too obvious. Well,
That's
I
awesome.
did want it to be too obvious, but I wanted it to be something that goes nicely with the globe. So this started off as a plain black ball. It was imported from 3GS. And I didn't import it. Replit did it all.
Hmm.
Um, and then I had to iterate quite a bit to get it to look this way. It was just a plain black ball. I might put a picture somewhere on my X maybe or on here. Just a plain black ball with golden lines on it of the
Hmm.
outline of the each land, which is what I
Yeah.
initially prompted, but I wanted to add more detail slowly. That's
This
something that I learned from Andrew Blumson. He said, you know, map it all out and then later add details. And he was talking about something else, but I applied it to this and it worked out really well.
That's
So
awesome.
you've got the different civilizations that you can see, the different hotspots. And then also, if you want to go to something specific, you can just you have a drop down bar. These ones I haven't built. I haven't had time to build them, but I've got Rome and Giza, so people can go have a look at these. And it also tells you rotate the Earth. You can select a civilization, walk through time. So let's look at Rome. So it'll take you to this page, and it's got a carousel of the different eras. You can select which era you want to go into.
Wow.
So it's
That's
um,
so cool.
for now, there's only three eras. Same with Giza. I'm going to add more, but
Hmm.
there's so much in history, it could take forever. And then you click into here, you enter.
Hmm.
Actually, I'll show you the ent how you enter through. This isn't built yet, so if this is on Buildathon, people see this, it won't be like this. It is like this part, but then the next part is the next page we go to. It's not finished, so I
This is
enter
stunning.
and you like travel through time, and then this is the part that I'm going to change because this is just like basic. I haven't built this
Very
out,
cool.
so that's basically um and then what it does is it takes you to wherever you go in Colosseum, wherever it is. And then this will be a little bit more interactive. Again, it's not complete, so the build one will be a little bit different when I've entered my final URL. This should be more interactive where you can have a look around and select on the different parts and it teaches you about the history at that time.
It is
It's just like
so immersive and visually stunning. Like, I love the sound, I love the colors. I am so excited to use this like as a real user because I am a history buff and I think there's a lot of us. Because history is all about how it's told, right? You can make it very boring. It can be dry words on a page, or it can be something like this. And I think if we want people to remember, we use design to create experiences that are memorable. And I think that that's exactly what you've done here.
yeah, that's what I was kind of going for, is just trying to make, even if you can even use this in a classroom, like
Yeah.
select the specific civilization you're teaching about
Hmm.
and um teach it that way, but in a more immersive way. When the final one is done, you'll see what I mean by it being very interactive. So once you're inside the place, it's like you travel through time, so you're actually there, and it's been a lot more engaging. That's what I wanted, something that looks really nice, but also very engaging, something fun that people would want to actually it. And a lot of people don't have much interest in history, but then this kind of like, spikes your interest.
Yeah, it's
So
kind of like
that's
a
what I'm hoping
cinematic.
it kind of does.
Yeah. It's
And
cinematic. It's like watching a history movie, even though it's not like you're in it, but it's
yeah.
very cool. I love that.
And um also I don't know if you can notice, but the globe is like slowly floating. I wanted to have some kind of motion, but then also be able to move it around ourselves.
I love it. This is so great, Noni. Like, I'm imagining if I taught history, even if I'm teaching like I don't know where it is in the curriculum, the ancient civilizations. I think it shows up a couple times, but if I'm teaching it and I have an interactive classroom, like a board, we have these giant flat screens, right? And I can
Yeah.
bring a student up to spin the globe and touch it, and then
Yes.
they have this experience. Like now I've just transported them to that ancient civilization compared to, watching, we grew up watching documentaries and like that was supposed to be entertaining, but this is just so different. You're a piece of it
Yeah.
now.
That's what, when I was building this out, that's what was going through my head is that whenever I teach something and the children can come up to the board and actually use the thing, and then it's not just the child using it, but the children who are watching, they're like, wow, that's so cool. They really get engaged with it. And then they have lots of questions. And then that's when you know that they're really engaged when they're asking you lots of questions about it. And it's these kind of things, that's why I built the Bamboo Classroom website because it's all interactive features that it makes them want to learn. Um, and it just makes it more interesting for them. I mean, children can't sit there for hours and just stare at the teacher and listen to words. They're not going to learn like that. They need interactivity. They need a bit more fun. Um,
You have to make it memorable, right? Like, how do you unlock that part of their brain that will go back to it and remember the experience? And this experience has, like, you're hitting all these things. You've got sound, you've got visuals, you've got touch, right? Like, you've got so many pieces that you're hitting for the ways that a kid learns or anybody learns, a human learns. And I think that it's just, this is the beauty of educational technology and like the direction that we're headed in is that we have these multi-sensory experiences. Even like I think about when I created, I'm like, how do I want a teacher to remember and think about their deaf kid, right? Like I
mm,
want them to experience what it's like to be their student. So that experience is what's triggered, not like some paper that I showed them.
yeah. Yeah. And it really, it's really sticks then.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that's awesome. I'm so excited to see the finished product. I'm like, I hope you give me a sneak peek before you submit, and I want to try it because
Definitely.
it's I mean, I pay, this is kind of a tell of my subscription problem, but I pay for a history app, and I regularly before I sleep read history. And so, that might not be typical, but I enjoy it so much. I even made one history app that was nothing like this. Like this is just amazing,
Yeah.
next level. But I think that there's a crowd of people who are just going to love this. And I can't wait till you build out like, yes, you've got, what are the ones you have? You have Giza and Rome, which are obviously great starting points. But like you have, I don't even know how to say it, Shan,
Constantinople. There's so many.
Chichen
That's the thing
Itza.
about this is that there's so many civilizations and things that happen in history all over the world, and this could be because it would take time to build that out, but it could be. I lost my train of thought.
No, that's amazing.
You
I'm
know
thinking
what I
like,
mean? Like it could.
yeah,
It's like unlimited. Like there's so much history that could go into this.
it'll
Um,
keep growing.
Yeah, and there's so many errors, so many civilizations, so many different things that happen in history.
I love
Um,
it.
so
I
it
want
could
to
be
see
an
Timbuktu. You got Kyoto, Great Zimbabwe, Machu Picchu. You know what? Can I make a suggestion?
yeah,
Can you add Nubia?
Nubia.
Nubia. So my husband is from Sudan, and people don't know this. Sudan has more pyramids than Egypt,
Really?
and they had their own kingdom. Have you ever heard of a Nubian queen? They used to be
No.
a
Oh, yes, I
matriarchal
have. Yeah.
society. Yeah, yeah. I tell my daughter all the time that she's a Nubian queen. She's like, I'm just a kid. But they are descended from this amazing civilization. They even took over ancient Egypt for a while, and there was a Nubian king of ancient Egypt. And so they were like the neighboring, they were called the Black Pharaohs. I love it.
Yeah,
They're on the part of the Nile that starts. So if you can make Nubia, it will be my favorite thing in the world. Can I ask you? I want you to make Nubia for me for my birthday.
definitely. I'll put it in. I'll put it on my list right now. Wow.
Please,
So
please, please.
interesting.
I love that. Yeah, that's my bias. And then I don't see Mohenjo-daro on there. Come on. Soon.
What's that?
I was like, I would give you never-ending work. Like you don't have enough.
But exactly, this is there's so much that you can add to this. There's so many, I mean, all around the world, all the different countries, so many errors. It could be could go on forever.
Oh yeah.
But I think for what I'm going to focus on for now is just a few
Yeah,
of
those
them,
two. Yeah. Those are the
build them
main.
out, and I
Yeah.
feel like with time things um progress so quickly. So I could add
Yeah.
so much more to this. So what was the one that you said? I'm just going to type it down really quickly so I can.
Nubia would be amazing to see. And then I want to see Mohenjo-Daro too. I feel like they, a couple of the civilizations, and nothing against that. Like we hear a lot about Rome and Egypt, and I think that's a great starting point because you're going to be making like your framework of what you want the experience to look like with those two. And then hopefully as you create, you've already like, and especially agent will learn the way that you want it to look and it's going to get
Yeah.
easier. Um, I think, yeah, it's
I
going to
feel like when
be
I build out one world the way I want it to be, then I
exactly.
can just tell agent to apply it to all the rest of them that same specific way I want it to be.
Exactly, exactly. And I think that that's the beauty of this. And I would tell you, I'll tell you right now, as a history buff, I would love to subscribe to this. I would pay a subscription to this, especially if it's growing over time. And I think that there's a lot of people who would love something like this.
Yeah. Well, let's see how it goes. I'm one to well, I really enjoyed this, so I feel like I'm gonna end up building all this out
I
really
think this
soon.
was the right choice. I really think. I know you'll be doing a lot of projects, but this is
Yeah,
exceptionally cool. And I love how when you go in there, you have that carousel of eras, like
yeah.
super, super beautiful. I love that. I love your eye for design here.
Thanks.
It's next level, mashallah. Oops.
Oh well, nothing wrong with that.
Well, okay. I am, yeah, I'm gonna say that we've given them a nice preview. It is gonna be so exciting. I can't wait till the community part where we're all voting for each other and giving each other replica cash.
It's
That's
always
so
so
fun.
much fun, and I'm really excited to see what everyone else has built.
Yeah,
Um,
there's so
they
much
always do.
creativity.
Yeah, so much. I feel like there's some things that are already on there, and then some people, well, by the time this episode will be out, all the submissions should be in by then. But I feel like some people are waiting till later on because they're busy building on it. That, like me, I'm still building on it. So much more that I want to add, but I've got to calm down my ADHD brain.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, maybe don't comment down. I think it's awesome and just keep building until, as long as you can. So, okay. Well, thank you to everybody for joining us for this little kind of sneak peek of what we have been building for the Designathon. If you've entered, good luck to everybody. I think that it's probably so hard. I'm grateful I'm not a judge because I would not be able to choose.
yeah.
But I'm so excited to just interact with other designers and builders and to see what the community's built.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see all of the rest of the submissions. So quite excited for that. We've already seen sneak peeks of things on X, so let's
Yeah.
see how it goes. This was really fun,
Okay.
and don't forget to subscribe and check out our affiliation codes, which are in the description below.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.